Now this illustration deals with lock and tagout program, and the general principal rules are listed here. In accordance with 70E 120.1B2 through B4 is in boy. The purpose of the change, it's a revision. This revision has been added to address employees' responsibility for the principles of the lock and tag out procedure. Uh, the program, the entire lock and tag out principles would be outlined here to a certain degree. Now, notice for lock and tag out requirements, if we needed additional information, for example, go to OSHA 1910.147. And of course, Article 120 of 70E, but the Annex G gives a outline of a lock and tag out procedure on page 72 that is also very helpful. But basically speaking, the lock and tag out program and procedures shall also be incorporated with the following information: providing the equipment necessary to execute lock and tag out procedures. In other words, if you read through this, the employer has that responsibility, to provide that information along with the equipment. Providing the lock and tag out training to workers in compliance with 70E 110.6B on page 18. So we're going to train the workers. The next year, the standard, give them a refresher. Then the next year, train them again. Now, some employers, just requires a lock and tag out procedure to go through the whole program yearly. This is up to management and how they want to handle that. Then notice we audit the lock and tag out program in compliance with 110.5M3 on page 17. Now, usually they'll audit one lock and tag out procedure in the field, and that's usually done by a supervisor that's not part of that group that's performing lock and tag out procedures. Then I believe about every 3 years the program's supposed to be reviewed and make sure that everybody is following the lock and tag out program. Now, finally here, the auditing execution of the lock and tag out procedures must comply with 110.5M3 on page 17. Now, if we want to get a complete good training, that would be good training, look at 120.2B on page 20. The steps in providing a lock and tag out procedure for a piece of equipment is 120.5 of 70E. Now, the note says each employer shall establish, document, and implement a lock and tag out program. The lock and tag out program shall specify lockout and tag out procedures to safeguard workers from exposure to electrical hazards per 70E 120.1A on page 20. Now, this is the responsibility of the employer to provide a lock and tag out program. Then it's the responsibility of the employees to implement this program and see that it runs smooth throughout each year, that the lock and tag out procedure is available without any change to it.